Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. Hope you're having a good day. I'm here today to record a book review. The book that I'm going to be reviewing today is, let me see, yay, I got it in there, Sigil Witchery by Laura Tempest Zakroff. I have to be careful of her last name because sometimes I mispronounce it and say Zarkoff. So Laura Tempest Zakroff. This is a witch's guide to crafting magic symbols. I was so excited when I saw this book when it came out. This is a 2018 copyright, so it's a pretty new book. There's 207 pages, and I gotta tell you, this thing did not disappoint whatsoever. I have been interested for some time in creating and using my own sigils. And so I've played around with the, let me grab it really quick because I know I've talked about it before. I've played around quite a bit with the Witch's Wheel. And can you see it? Let's see. Yeah. So this is something that I first learned about during temple teachings. This is actually in Christopher's Outer Temple of Witchcraft book. So if you have that book, you can locate that. It's actually on page 307. I try to make sure to put little notations on where I got things. So I've used this before and I like it, but I always have to have a reference to what I've used it for. So what you do with this is you would take, if you're working magic and say you want prosperity, okay, you would write out the word prosperity and you would eliminate any double letters. So like I should like write it out so I could see it. I don't know if there's any prosperity. I don't think there's any double letters in there. But then what you would do is you would have them in that order as they were left, and you would start here, and you would start with a P, so you would locate the P, which is eluding me, which is right there, and so you would essentially draw lines to the various letters that were left in your magic, and you would come up with this symbol. And I believe you would put a dot at the beginning so you know where you started, okay? So you would put a dot on the P in your symbol, and that would be a sigil that you could carve into candles, you could draw on paper, you could do any number of things with and use that, magically speaking. And so this I actually keep in my my book of light, and I have it in a plastic sleeve so that if I wanted to, I could use a dry erase marker to get a look for what my sigil would look like, and then I could use it from there. So that's a fun thing. And so I've used that for quite a while, and it's fine. I like it. It's cool. But I was looking to develop the sigils into something that was more me kind of a thing, like a system that was more me. And I took a class once on sigil making, and it just wasn't what I was looking for. So when I saw this book come out, I thought, well, I'm going to give this a whirl and see what it's about and see if it can help me on this little journey that I'm taking. And so I have to tell you that it's really, it's so helpful. Laura really did her homework, and I think, so Laura is a dancer, she is an author, she's an artist, she does some gorgeous artwork, paintings, and things like that. I've seen her stuff and I've wanted to purchase some stuff. It's just kind of finding the right piece for the right place because my wall space is so covered right now. But she's really good. And so you actually see some of her artwork throughout. But she's a very diverse person, and I appreciate that. The whole beginning of the book, she talks about symbolism and it historically, where it comes from and how it developed in different places in the world. And I really appreciated that background to kind of start off with. Then what she did is she's got an entire section. I'm trying to get to the beginning of it here. She talks about symbols that we see in our, you know, as we grow up. Because let's face it, symbology is embedded in us from a small age. You know, we see symbols and we know what they mean because of everyday usage. We know that a red six-sided sign means stop. We know that a red light means stop. We know that a green light means go. You know, different things like that. And so she talks about, so here's like a couple of pages from that section. She talks about a symbol, like a dot, or a circle, or a line, a horizontal line, a vertical line. And she talks about what it means to us, like, as people, okay? And then she will talk about what does it mean for her personally, okay? And then she also leaves you lines, okay, for you to think about that symbol and jot some notes down as to what does that symbol say to you personally? Is it saying something to you that is different than kind of a general thought about it, okay? So there's an entire section. She starts with circles and lines and works her way up into arrows, wavy lines, squares, things like that, and then gets more complicated with some hearts, anchor, the infinity symbol, eyes, keys, butterflies, and things like that. So I love the fact that she gives you space to doodle and make notes. That is really, really cool. So it's like a workbook and a book all in one. Then she gets to a point where she's presenting you with words and asking you to draw what shapes or symbols you would associate with words like balance and blessing and cleanse. And I haven't done a lot of actual writing in this book because I actually started another book for that purpose. I got a really beautiful book from a coven sister for my birthday that I'm going to use for all of my symbols because I also use runes in my practice as well. So there's a few pages of that. And then she goes into how to make magic, how to build symbols. She talks to you in a step-by-step process that she uses for creating her sigils, putting these different symbols together for creating a sigil. Like we've got this guy right here. She actually presents you with case studies. And so this is a sigil that was created for someone for their specific purpose. And so that's kind of what you get throughout the next part here. She gives you some scenarios and some sigils that she came up with, which I thought was really, really cool. And then she talks about, well, how do you use them? You know, drawing them on paper, maybe on the back of a picture of someone for healing. Maybe you have them tattooed on you. Here is a picture of, I hope you can see this. There's a picture of Laura's legs. Those are her thighs, and some sigils that she has created and had tattooed on her person. I don't remember if she actually told what those are specifically for. And that's okay. We don't need to know everything about that. But different mediums that you can use, design guidance, and things like that. I really loved this book. I was hoping that I would love this book, and it kind of exceeded my expectations. Because I gotta tell you, after the class I took, I thought, I'm kind of on my own when it comes to creating sigils. And so I thought that, I was just going to have to figure it out on my own. And I am not artistic in nature. And so the thought of that was actually kind of daunting and kind of made me not want to move forward with that kind of work. But reading this book really kind of changed it, and it really simplified it and brought it down to a level that I, as a non-artist, could really work with. And so, like I said, I started my own book. I don't have it like right here. I'm not really comfortable sharing personal sigils like that. But it's definitely, this is a game changer. So let's talk about Brooms. For the content, I love the size, by the way. This book shape and size, I love it. I'm so weird. I love little books. I have like a collection of antique Shakespeare plays that are like in small hardcover. I don't know what it is about it. It's so cute, and I just have to have them. So anyhow, so the shape of this book really spoke to me. There was my little weirdness. Anyhow, Brooms. I'm totally giving this a 5 out of 5 Brooms. This is exactly what I was looking for. Plus, there was information in here and thoughts in here that I didn't know would be helpful. So if you are interested in sigil making and drawing your own sigils, creating your own sigils, this is where it's at. There's a lot of symbol books out there and stuff like that, and that's cool if you want to use stuff that's already established. But this is about creating your own sigils, and I think that's huge. And I think that, you know, we talk a lot about how making your own candles for magical purposes puts more magic into it. It's the same thing with sigils. I like doing bind runes too, because there are some bind runes out there that have been tried and true, but there's also a opportunity for you to put together your own bind runes. And so I like that. I like having the idea that I am creating something from start to finish in terms of spell work. And so that's kind of cool for me. So I would highly recommend this book. I will definitely put a link to Amazon to purchase this book. I think the price point is great. It's $19.99. I don't know if Laura has her own website that sells it. I'll try to look into that. And I know she's got a website, but I don't know if she sells her books like straight from the website. If she does, I'll put a link for that as well as an Amazon. Okay. So that way you've got both options. Or you can go to your own local bookstore or New Age store and purchase one there, because we like to shop locally, right? So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it or learned something from it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, there's a red button for subscribing, so please hit that. Have you read this book, or do you have a sigil book that you would suggest to read as well? I'd like to hear about that in the comment section below. That's going to be it for this video. Make sure to check out all of the links in the description box for social media and things like that. Thank you for walking the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.